Welcome to POV Stories. This one is going to find you somewhere specific. You meet her at 24 in the particular way you meet people at 24, accidentally, at someone else's party, in a kitchen that isn't yours, reaching for the same bottle of something neither of you actually wanted. She laughs first. You talk for 3 hours standing up and neither of you notices until your feet start hurting. You exchange numbers in the way that feels different from other number exchanges, like this one is going to become something, and you're right, it is, just not the something you're imagining standing in that kitchen at midnight with your feet aching and your chest already leaning toward her. Her name is Senna. She is 23 and studying something that involves more books than you've ever owned, and she has opinions about everything, not loudly, just thoroughly, the way someone has opinions when they've actually thought about them rather than inherited them. She makes you feel like you're being taken seriously, which at 24 is not as common as it should be. You date for 3 weeks before she tells you she's never been in a real relationship before. Not a confession, just information, delivered with the same directness she delivers everything. She says she's been careful. That she's watched other people do it badly, and wanted to wait until she understood what she was doing. You find this endearing. You find this, if you're honest, slightly flattering. Someone this careful chose you. You don't think about what it means to be someone's first real attempt at love. You don't think about the fact that first attempts, by definition, are where people learn what they're doing. The first 6 months are extraordinary in the specific way that first-time love is extraordinary for the person experiencing it for the first time. She loves you with a kind of complete attention you've never received from anyone. She remembers everything, not just the big things, the small ones, the throwaway details you mention once and forget you mentioned. She shows up. She asks questions. She listens the way people only listen when they're genuinely trying to understand another person rather than waiting to respond. You tell yourself this is just who she is. You don't consider that she's also learning, in real time, using you as the material. By the end of the first year, you have built something that feels solid. Routines. Shared references. The particular private language that develops between two people who spend enough time together. She knows how you take your coffee and you know which side of the bed she can't sleep on, and there's a restaurant you've claimed as yours and a walk you take on Sunday mornings that has become, without discussion, the place where you talk about the real things. She tells you on one of those walks that being with you has taught her that she's capable of more than she thought. More patience. More openness. More willingness to be known. She says it like it's a gift she's giving you, and you receive it that way, warm and pleased and not yet understanding what she's actually describing. She's describing practice. She just doesn't know it yet either. The second year is different in ways that are hard to articulate because nothing breaks. There's no fight that changes things. No revelation. Just a gradual shift in the quality of her attention, which you notice the way you notice a change in weather, slowly, then all at once. She's still present, but she's also somewhere else in a way she wasn't before. Like a part of her is running a parallel process you don't have access to. She starts a new program. New people. New ideas arriving in the apartment in the form of books you haven't heard of and conversations that reference things that happened before you were in the room. You support all of it. You're proud of her. You're also, quietly, beginning to feel the particular unease of someone who senses a shift they can't name yet. You meet Daniel at a dinner in November. He's one of hers, a colleague, smart and easy to talk to, the kind of person who makes a room feel more interesting just by being in it. You shake his hand. You have a good conversation. You go home that night and feel nothing in particular, and you're proud of yourself for feeling nothing in particular. 3 months later she sits across from you at the kitchen table and tells you that something has happened that she needs to be honest with you about. She says she's been feeling something she doesn't think is fair to ignore. She says she has tried to examine it, and she can't. She says your name, once, in a specific way, and you know before the next sentence what the next sentence is. She doesn't mention Daniel. You don't ask. You already know. What follows is the weeks of untangling. Not dramatic, just thorough, the way she does everything. Returning things. Dividing the subscriptions. The conversation about the restaurant, which you decide to let her have because you couldn't go there without it becoming something else. She cries once, briefly, and apologizes for crying, which is so completely her that it breaks something in you more precisely than any of the rest of it. You tell her you don't blame her. That's true. You tell her you're fine. That's less true, but it will be eventually, which is close enough. It takes you a long time to understand what actually happened. Not the facts, those you understand immediately. What you take longer to understand is the shape of it. The structure. The specific role you played in a story that you thought was about both of you equally. You were where she learned that she could be patient. That she could be present. That she could love someone through difficulty, and show up consistently, and grow inside a relationship rather than shrinking from one. You were where she discovered that she was capable of real intimacy, the kind that requires showing your actual self rather than a managed version of it. You were the place she practiced all of it. And when she had learned what she came to learn, she was ready. Just not for you. There's a word for what you were, but it's an unkind word and it isn't quite accurate either, because she wasn't using you in the way that word implies. She wasn't calculating. She wasn't strategic. She was just someone learning how to love, and you were the person she happened to learn with, and love isn't clean enough to sort itself into lessons and learners. You were both in it. You were both real. It just turned out to mean different things to each of you at the end. The thing that takes longest to make peace with isn't losing her. You make peace with losing her. What takes longest is the question you can't stop asking, whether any of it would have been different if she'd known from the start what she was doing. If she'd understood she was practicing. Whether she would have chosen differently, or whether she would have chosen you anyway and practiced just the same. You never get an answer to that. You learn to stop needing one. What you carry forward is something that sounds like a wound but functions more like a recalibration. You understand now that being someone's first real love is not the same as being their last. That the intensity of a first attempt is real and the love inside it is real, and none of that protects you from the fact that first attempts are also, by nature, where people discover what they actually need. And what they actually need is sometimes something they can only recognize after practicing with you. You date again at 27. She is different, not better, just different. More direct about what she wants. Less patient in ways that are actually healthy. She has been loved before, and loved badly, and she has learned from it, and you understand, this time, what that means. You understand that she is bringing everything she learned in previous attempts to the person she's attempting with now, which is you, which is not nothing. Which is, in fact, everything. You are someone's practice too. You just don't mind anymore. Because here's what you know at 27 that you didn't know at 24. Everyone is practicing on everyone. Every relationship is both the lesson and the learning. The person who loved you before your current partner was the one who taught them how to love you. And the people you loved before her taught you how to love her. It moves forward, not in circles. It accumulates. And the people who feel like rehearsals were never only rehearsals. They were the real thing. They just weren't the last thing. And the last thing is still out there. Being practiced toward slowly, by someone who doesn't know your name yet but is learning, with someone else, everything they'll need to love you right. If that landed somewhere true, subscribe to POV Stories. Every story here is written to find the thing you haven't had words for yet. Because the next story is already waiting. And something tells me you'll need that one too.